Hi students, in the previous class we discussed about the different circulations, pulmonary, systemic, coronary circulation, portal circulations. In this class we are going to discuss about human circulatory system, structure of heart, functioning of heart, ECG. Then first we will start with what heart. The heart of human beings, it is a myogenic heart. What is myogenic heart? The true hearts are two types, a neurogenic heart and myogenic heart. Here what is genic means what generates. If in any heart the heartbeat is generated by the nerve endings, that is called a neurogenic heart. This type of heart is present only in arthropods. If the heartbeat is generated by muscles, that is myogenic heart. The myogenic heart is present in molluscans and all chordates except cephalochordates where heart is absent. Human beings also consist a myogenic four-chambered heart. Myogenic and four-chambered heart. It is situated in the thoracic region. What is this? Trachea, bronchi, and here what? Lungs. In between the two lungs, the space present between the two lungs is called as mediastinum. That is called what? Mediastinum. In this space, the heart is situated. Our heart is a four-chambered heart, a myogenic heart. Where is situated? In the thoracic region, in the space between the two lungs. Our heart is a myogenic heart and four-chambered heart. It is a pear-shaped structure, is roughly triangular, broad anteriorly, narrow posteriorly. Pear-shaped. It is the size of a fist of a person. It measures 298 to 300 grams in a healthy person. It is a pear-shaped structure. Broad anterior part is called a what? Atrial part and ventricular part. Posterior part is ventricular part. Externally separating these atrial part and ventricular part, a horizontal groove is present. That is called a coronary sulcus. Externally, atrial part is separated from ventricular part by coronary sulcus. And an oblique groove also seen on ventricular part that indicates the partition of ventricle into two chambers. Externally, no other structures are seen like other vertebrates. Here only coronary sulcus and oblique groove. Coming to the externally, heart is covered by double-walled pericardium. Outer one is called as fibrous pericardium. Inner is what? Serous pericardium. Outer is fibrous, inner is serous. Inner serous again divided into parietal pericardium and visceral pericardium. These are the pericardial layers. Don't confuse with the layers of the heart. Outer is fibrous coat and inner serous coat. Inner serous coat again into parietal and visceral. Coming to the heart wall, the heart wall is of three layered. Heart wall is of how many layered? Three layered. In these three layers, outermost layer of the heart wall is epicardium. That is nothing but what? Visceral peritoneum we can say. And middle layer is what? Myocardium. Innermost layer is endocardium. Don't confuse with the pericardial layers and the layers of the heart wall. Here these three, epicardium, myocardium and endocardium, they are the three different layers from outside to inside in the heart wall. Epicardium as peritoneal layers are made up of simple squamous epithelium. It is nothing but visceral peritoneum. Myocardium is made up of a network of cardiac muscles. Network of cardiac muscles. Endocardium is again made up of simple squamous epithelium. Simple squamous epithelium. These are the heart layers and pericardial layers. Coming to the internal structure, our heart is four chambered. Anterior chambers are auricles. Anterior chambers are auricles. Anterior chambers are auricles. Posterior are ventricle. Posterior are ventricle. Here both auricles and ventricles are asymmetrical. Compared to right auricle, left auricle is somewhat smaller. Left auricle is somewhat smaller. Similarly, compared to right ventricle, left auricle is larger. Right auricle and left ventricle are larger. Left auricle and right ventricle are smaller. Both the chambers are asymmetrical. The two auricles together called as atria. They are separated from interatrial septum from one another. Similarly, two ventricles, they are separated from one another by interventricular septum. What is this? Interatrial septum. This is interventricular septum. Two auricles are separated from ventricles by auriculoventricular septa. Auriculoventricular septum. Here one important point. Here the interatrial septum and interventricular septum, they are muscular. No doubt, this is thin, this is thick. They are with muscles, they are muscular. But auriculoventricular septum is not muscles. That is with fibrous connective tissue. That is with what? Fibers, connective tissue. That is very, very important. Later we will discuss why, how it is very important. In this way, two auricles, anterior chambers are called auricles, together atria. They are simply called as what? Pouring, receiving chambers. Left auricle is receiving the oxygenated blood through pulmonary veins. Right auricle is receiving the deoxygenated blood through caval veins. And the ventricles are pumping chambers. Right ventricle pumps the deoxygenated blood to lungs for oxygenation. Left ventricle pumps the oxygenated blood to different parts through systemic aorta. No doubt, entire walls of the heart are muscular, but compared to ventricles, auricular walls are less muscular. Because these has to pump the blood. And among the ventricles, as the left ventricle has to generate more pressure, it has to pump the blood up to the tip of the head, up the tip of the toe. That's why the left ventricle is more muscular and thick compared to right ventricle. Compared to auricles, ventricular walls are highly muscular, no doubt. Compared to right ventricle, left ventricle is more muscular. Again, coming back to what this left auricle, in the left embryonic stage, on this interauricular septum, a small opening is present. Small opening, that is called as foramen ovalis. Once the lungs becomes functional, once the blood starts flowing into the auricles, left auricle particularly, because of pressure, this foramen ovalis closes and appears as fossa ovalis. Appears as what? Fossa ovalis. In some human beings, this fails to close completely. That only we are calling it as a hole in the heart. That is patent foramen ovalis. Patent foramen ovalis. No need of discussion. Here, this is foramen ovalis present only in embryonic stage. After once the lungs becomes functional, because of increased arterial pressure, that will close and that will appear as a fossa ovalis patch-like structure. In the left auricle on the right anterior corner, upper corner, 4 small non-valvular openings are present. They are openings of pulmonary veins. They are openings of pulmonary veins. Pulmonary veins. These are the structures seen in left auricle. Then coming to right auricle, that is somewhat large compared to left one. In the right auricle, 2 openings are seen. What are the 2 openings? What are the 2 openings? One is the opening of precaval vein. One is the opening of precaval vein. Another is the opening of postcaval vein. Another is the opening of postcaval vein. In the embryonic stage, this opening of postcaval vein is guarded by Eustachian valve. Guarded by what? Eustachian valve. Why? Before the formation of lungs, if from the right blood that is received by right auricle, if that is poured into the right ventricle, it is of no use because no lungs are there. That's why in embryonic stage, this Eustachian valve directs the flow of blood from right auricle to left auricle through this foramen ovalis. Through this foramen ovalis. Once the foramen ovalis closes, once the lungs forms, then this Eustachian valve becomes vestigial, appears as a thin flap-like structure in the adults. This is present only in embryonic stage. In the right auricle, in addition to this, as we discussed in the previous class, 2 pairs of coronary veins are collecting the blood from heart muscles. All that 4 coronary veins together forms into a bulb-like structure called as coronary sinus. That is called what? Coronary sinus. That opens into the right auricle very close to the postcaval opening. Postcaval opening. This opening of coronary sinus is guarded by valve of Tabasius to prevent the backward flow of blood. Here valve of Tabasius is present at the junction of opening of coronary sinus into right auricle. That is to prevent what? Backward flow of deoxygenated blood back to heart muscles. Heart muscles. Right auricle, in addition to these structures, nodal tissues are present. Nodal tissues which are modified cardiac muscles. One is sinoatrial node. One is what? Sinoatrial node, and another is auriculoventricular node. Auriculoventricular node. Sinoatrial node and auriculoventricular node. Sinoauricular node, that is in the right anterior corner of the right auricle. Right anterior corner of the right auricle. Auriculoventricular node is present very close to the interarterial septum at its distal end, just above the auriculoventricular septum. Here what is the position of auriculoventricular node? It is situated in the right auricle only in the left corner, just above the auriculoventricular septum, at the distal part, at the posterior part of interarterial septum. Here why 2 pacemakers are present in the human heart? Why 2 pacemakers? That we will discuss in the functioning of heart. Functioning of heart. These are the structures that are present in the right auricle. Then two auricles together, they are separated from ventricles by auriculoventricular septum. On auriculoventricular septum, two wide openings through which the auricles opens into what ventricles? Auriculoventricular openings. These auriculoventricular openings are guarded by valves. Right auriculoventricular aperture. This is what? Right auriculoventricular aperture. It is guarded by tricuspid valve. It is guarded by what? Tricuspid valve. Left auriculoventricular aperture is guarded by a bicuspid valve. Bicuspid valve, also called a mitral valve. Also called a mitral valve. Tricuspid and bicuspid. Tricuspid valve guards the opening right auriculoventricular aperture. Bicuspid valves guards the left auriculoventricular. These valves prevent the backward flow of blood. They prevent the flow of blood back into auricles. They allow the flow of blood into from auricles to ventricles. Auricles to ventricles. Then coming to two ventricles are separated by interventricular septum. The inner wall of the each ventricle is thrown into foldings, several foldings, which divide the lumen of ventricle into several columns. They are called as columnae carneae, dividing the ventricular cavity into several compartments, several columns. On the elevated ridge-like structure of this columnae carneae, some hair-like papillary muscles are situated. What are situated? Papillary muscles. These are situated in the elevated ridge-like structures of columnae carneae, cone-like structures of columnae carneae. These papillary muscles are connected to these tricuspid and bicuspid valves. These papillary muscles and flaps of tricuspid and bicuspid muscles are connected by means of what? Some collagen fibers. Some collagen fibers which are called as heartstrings. Which are called as heartstrings or cardae tendinae. Heartstrings are cardae tendinae. What is the function of these heartstrings or cardae tendinae? They prevent the too much bulging of these tricuspid valves and bicuspid valves and auricles. They do not regulate the opening and closing of these tricuspid and bicuspid valves. If these heartstrings are not there, if this heartstring becomes non-functional, what happens? Whenever ventricles contracts, there is a possibility this tricuspid bicuspid valve opens back into auricle, then some blood flow may back into what? Auricles. Here the heartstrings are cardae tendinae. Heartstrings are cardae tendinae. They prevent the too much bulging of this tricuspid bicuspid valves back into auricles. Back into auricles. Okay, students, this is about the structure of the heart. Then coming to aorta, the main blood vessels that are originating directly from the heart are called what? Aorta. Here human beings, as conus arteriosus is not there, aorta directly originates from ventricles. In human beings, aorta are only two. One pulmonary aorta, another systemic aorta. That systemic aorta, left systemic aorta. Only two aortic arches, pulmonary aorta and left systemic aorta. Pulmonary aorta originates from left anterior corner of right ventricle. Left anterior corner of right ventricle. After origin, it divides into left and right. It divides into what? left and right pulmonary arteries which takes the deoxygenated blood to lungs for oxygenation. Then left systemic aorta, it originates from right anterior corner of left ventricle. Right anterior corner of left ventricle. After its origin, it runs anteriorly, then turns around the left bronchus. Turns around what? Left bronchus, and then becomes dorsal aorta. And becomes what? Dorsal aorta, which passes downwards posteriorly beneath the vertebral column up to the level of hind limbs, where it divides into two. Left systemic aorta is originating from right corner of left ventricle. Then it is running anteriorly, turning around the left bronchus to become what? Dorsal aorta. This dorsal aorta is the largest blood vessel in us. It runs posteriorly on dorsal side just beneath the vertebral column, running up to the level of hind limb. There it is dividing into what? Iliac arteries, supplying blood to hind limbs. Before that, so several branches, it supplies blood to different parts of the body, oxygenated blood to different parts of the body. Both the aortic arches, pulmonary aorta and systemic aorta, they are guarded by three semilunar valves. Three flap like structure, not 3 number. They are called aortic valves. Both are guarded by semilunar valves. They are crescent shaped semilunar valves. These semilunar valves allows the flow of blood into aortic arches. Deoxygenated blood into pulmonary aorta prevents the backward flow. Then last point, at the point where the systemic aorta and pulmonary aorta are connected with one another, coming in contact, both are connected by a tissue that only called as ligamentum arteriosum. In all vertebrates in embryonic stage, systemic and pulmonary are connected by a small blood vessel called as ductus botalli or ductus arteriosum. Here the ductus botalli or ductus arteriosum, that only represented as ligamentum arteriosum. Then this is a structure of heart, how the heart functions, what is the significance, this interatrial septum, interventricular septum and auriculoventricular, they are with different tissues. Coming to functioning of heart is a pumping organ. It only pumping the blood to lungs and different parts. That already known, it is a pumping organ. Contraction of heart is called as systole. Relaxation of heart is called what? Diastole. Continuously this heart undergoes contraction, relaxation, that only pumps the blood, receives the blood. Contraction is called what? Systole, and relaxation is called what? Diastole. Systole and diastole together called as what? Heartbeat. One systole, one diastole together called as what? Heartbeat. In human beings, per minute, the heart exhibits 72 beats. That means what is the duration that is taken for one beat? For 72 beats, it is 60 seconds. It is what? 60 seconds. For one beat, how much? 60 by 72, it comes to 0.8 seconds. Means what the time taken to complete one heartbeat? 0.8 seconds. Here one systole, one diastole together makes one heartbeat. Here whatever the event that takes place cyclically during one heartbeat, that only called about cardiac cycle. That only called about cardiac cycle. Here before going into cardiac cycle, here our heart is, human heart is myogenic heart. Means what? A pacemaker which is modified cardiac muscle that initiates the heartbeat. Here two pacemakers, ACA node, sinoarterial node, auriculoventricular node. Why two pacemakers are required? Does only one ACA node is not sufficient? What is the role of this ACA node? What is the role of AV node, atrioventricular node, auriculoventricular node? What is the role? Here why two pacemakers are required? Already in the structure we discussed, in between the auricles and ventricles, auriculoventricular septum is there. Auriculoventricular septum is there. That is with what? Connective tissue that acts as an insulator. The whatever the action potentials that developed in the auricles, the automatically that are not supplied to the ventricles, that are not carried to ventricles, because here the connective tissue plates are there which acts like an insulator. That is insulator. That's why here two pacemakers are required, ACA node and sinoarterial node and auriculoventricular node. Rest of the events that are occurring during the cardiac cycle, what is the duration of cardiac cycle, what is ECG, and how this heartbeat is regulated, and what are the disorders of circulatory system, that we will discuss in next class. Thank you, students.